Hey guys, how's it going? It's Will. I know what y'all thinking. Hey man, Monday you didn't do a video. So my response is you're right. I did not do a video. To be perfectly honest, I was tired from work. But I'm gonna make it up to you guys by doing a mashup video of two characters that I wanted to draw for a while, and so now I get the chance to do it. One of them was definitely somebody I've been wanting to draw for a little bit. The other one I just really discovered. Again, I have to, I don't know if I really say blame S Comic Maker for this, but she definitely talked about it during her Free Draw Friday that she did about Hilda. Now, Hilda is interesting. Apparently, she's based on a children's book series out of Great Britain, I believe. And so, this is a character named Hilda. She sees a very different world than a lot of us do. And she, of course, is a spunky little girl with a lot of attitude, a lot of heart. Well, of course, in the first big arc of the show, by the way, it's on Netflix if you want to check it out, and I highly recommend you do. If you're like myself and you're a kid at heart at all, you're gonna love this show. It kind of reminds me of what would happen if a children's book became illustrated, and that's kind of how it all works out. So, anyway, so Hilda is a character that's in the Netflix series that's by the same name, of course, Hilda. So who I'm drawing right now, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Hilda as time goes on, because I want to definitely get into her myself. But this is Craig of the Creek. It's a Nickelodeon show, and it's pretty. It's got warm heart. I did a video about it a while back about one of the episodes, and so I thought, well, I'd get a chance to draw Craig during my Inktober. So here we go. So this is Craig of the Creek. Like I said, it's a Nickelodeon show. Craig is a spunky little guy who, with his friends, kind of rule the creek, so to speak. And they have their own little world of adventures. Everything from games that are kind of like Magic the Gathering to everything a little bit in between. And so Craig is that main character. Uh, his mom, dad, sister, and so you definitely want to watch it as Comic Maker because it's really awesome. Like I said, I've talked about it a little bit on this particular channel, and so I really enjoy it. But when I saw the art style of Hilda, I really thought of Craig of the Creek a lot. I thought it was kind of it was that nice pastel style color, but at the same time, it was a lot of interesting character design. And so I was like, well, let's see if we can mash these two characters up because I think the way their worlds kind of collide, uh, Craig has a little bit more. I think Craig of the Creek is definitely grounded a little bit more realism. But of course, he has a real good friend. She always imagined herself as a warrior-ess. And so I think Hilda could definitely see a warrior-ess in her if they actually met up. And so it's kind of interesting how that works out. And the staff that he carries, I believe his brother made it out of part of his bedpost to an old bed that he had. So they took an old bed, they basically made him a scepter out of it. So I thought that was really kind of cool as well. So I just wanted to really give these two characters with a lot of heart and a lot of joy, a lot of opportunity to come out and play, so to speak, together. I don't know that they would ever think, if Nickelodeon would ever say, let's try to do this, but if they did, it'd be cool. I think it would work really well for the characters. Um, Craig is an explorer. He's a typical boy. He's got a little sister. They do all kind of cool stuff together. He's got an older brother that he looks up to like a hero. And so it's very much an Americana story wrapped around the world of a cartoon. And so that's another thing I love about it. And it reminds me of a little bit simpler time. Anybody ever lived out in the boondocks, out in the country, of times where sometimes you would just enjoy opportunities to make up worlds and kind of play and do your own thing. So that's kind of the story I'm wanting to work with is this. So anyway, then we have Hilda. Hilda sees worlds where there are little elves that live. I laughed so hard at the first little episode where basically she has to go meet the Elf King. She is told she has to go meet the Elf King so that she can, because her mom's house apparently is right in the middle of a major intersection where the elves live. And so the king of the elves was like, well, in order for me to get elected, I had to basically say, "I'll get rid of your mom." So that was kind of the way they did it. And so, of course, they promised all the elves they would get rid of her mom. But then there's some situations that happen, some things that occur. And so she ends up basically saving the house just in time for it to get stepped on by a giant. But there again, it's a cool world. I think I like the idea above all else. That's kind of fish out of water story where a kid doesn't, she may or may not be comfortable in her own skin. Like I said, I've only seen a couple of episodes. I've seen, I think, the first two, but I am loving this show. And she has a little elf friend. I honestly don't remember his name, but I'm sure if S Comic Maker is still on here, I'm sure she'll tell me. It's funny because you have to sign a contract to see him. And so it's really interesting because there's a point where her mom is like, "Who are you talking to?" And then it's like, "Oh." And then she's like, "I'll sign the contract tomorrow." So it's just this idea that like her mom kind of is just, her mom wants to be supportive. Her mom wants to be all these things. But at the same time, she knows her little girl isn't quite normal. And I guess she's okay with that. And I think that's the thing that's really cool above all else. It's the idea that there's a mom who has to kind of accept the fact that her daughter's a little bit peculiar. And that's also at the fun. So anyway, this little elf friend here, like I said, he actually is up traveling with her to the new home. He actually gets a travel permit, a passport, if you will, to go travel with her to her new home. And so basically he shows up, first big adventure. I might have seen the first three episodes. Now that I think about it, I think I've seen the first three episodes now because I remember one of the episodes in the new area. And it's interesting because there's a point where some of the kids are pretty mean. And so there's a point where her mom's like, "Well, hey, did you make any friends today?" She's like, "Well, I talked to some kids." She said, "It's really awesome that they got the chance to see you making some friends and everything." He's like, "Yeah, but the kids were mean. They threw rocks at this bird. And they tried to hurt the bird." And her mom looked at her. She said, "Well, I'm glad you didn't make friends today." It's kind of the idea. She's like, "I'm not giving up hope that my daughter's going to have a normal life, but today may have been a time where she really kind of stepped up and stood for somebody else." And I think that's really cool too. But anyway, this is the picture behind Hilda. As I mentioned, the first book, there are all sorts of creatures. I mean, there are elves, there's flying cat puffs. There is a mythology so big and it's so entrenched in this show. It's not even funny. I do believe, like I said, it's based on a group of books from England. And so there's a definite storyline there that has been already set up. But I love the idea that there is a mountain that literally waited 4,000 years, I believe, for the love of her life to show up. And so in the process, she got snow in her ear. And so when she got the snow in her ear, of course, couldn't really see that. So she ended up, couldn't really hear anything. So she basically fell asleep because there was snow in her ear. And so since the snow was in her ear, she couldn't hear anything. And so she just went to sleep and stayed there. Well, then Hilda, during one of her early adventures, was talking about how she was talking to this Colossus. And he was like, "Every day I come here and wait for my friend. Well, my friend's not here." And so for a while, Hilda's like, "I don't get it. I don't understand. Who's your friend?" But then when she meets this mountain of a woman, literally, she comes back and says, "Well, there's somebody that's been waiting for you." And then she realizes who it is, and of course she goes looking for him, and then he finds her. So it's like these two colossi that have loved each other kind of come together. But then some stuff happens, and it's just like, wow. You just don't realize how sweet a story is. And the way I love the story is that there's sweetness, and then it's like it goes from being sweet to being kind of crazy in a second. And so it's really kind of cool. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it, the drawing. Hope you appreciate it. This is Craig of the Creek and Hilda, my mashup for today. Today is 29th and 30th of Inktober. Guys, above all else, do me a favor. Come tomorrow, I'm going to give you one of my favorite ultimate teenage/kid heroes. And I hope you guys will enjoy it. Anyway, guys, take care. Above all else, be blessed. Be a blessing to somebody, guys. Till next time, take care.